Hey guys, so I know this is last second, but I'm going to be doing a editing live stream really quick just so I can get this review up before 12. I'm so tired, but I need the motivation to do this and to watch Dino's live stream with Channel Sundown. So I'm going to do this real quick, upload it, then watch that, and definitely go check them out. I'm going to be editing the trailer, I mean, not the trailer, the review for Squirm, the book review. Let's go to screen share. The last couple of these ones did pretty well. I'm going to take out my headphones so that way you can hear what I'm doing. Hopefully there's not a whole bunch of freaking, like bullshit. So, I got 3 people watching already. Nice. So let's just, okay, there we go. So let's, why is it doing that? What's it doing? It should be working. I'm watching the live stream currently to see if it works. Looks like, okay, I'm just going to do this. All right, so let me know if you guys can see it. So let's turn up the volume a little bit and get this edited nice and quick. Oh, that's way too loud. It's maybe. That's way too loud. Wait, let's get to 54. Exactly like the movie, but is that a good or a bad thing? Let's find out. So basically what I'm doing here is the intro so far. I had some of it already set up. I feel like doing this because I was so exhausted. I wanted to get this done. So this is gonna be the part where I put the intro, but it's not actually a title card, because it's a book review. Usually movie reviews I give the title card. This one I give this kind of card. I put the book on the side with a thing I wrote so it's quicker. Because I'm a quick bastard. I am So let's add the text. Keeping me talking keeps me awake. That's why I'm doing this. Horror show book. What number is this? Book reviews. I think it's 43. Episode 43, not 34, 43. I'm going to double check just to be sure. We got ourselves a warm week 3. 43, I was correct. Huzzah! Squirm. 1976. All right, now I'm going to probably change that up a little bit. Actually, no, I think I like it like that. I like it. So let's do this. Now it's way too bright. Let's do a little damper glow. And exposure to make it darker. Ooh, I like it. Now. Okay, shit. Sam, my brother's girlfriend just texted me. He's gonna be over. Yeah. Gotta do something real quick. I should have left the door unlocked. Son of a gun. Sorry, guys. It's gonna take me a second just to. I gotta call my mother real quick. If she doesn't answer, then I should have been more prepared. All right. Please pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. The joyous wonders of live streaming. Guys, I might have to go downstairs real quick because I have to unlock the door. I was foolish enough to lock it. So it's a friendly country. Just waiting for. Oh, damn it! All right, guys, I will be right back. I'm just gonna leave this on here because I have to go run downstairs real quick. I hate to do this because I'm in such a time crunch, but I will be right back. I promise. It's gonna be like less than a minute. I promise. Just stay tuned. Sucks. But it's gonna be less than a minute, so you guys have the time to just chillax. I'll be right back. me. Whew. I'm back. Did you miss me? Because I sure missed you. I booked it. I'm back. So that happens when you get overweight and old. Let me go to do share screen. Magic Kale Mermaid says, I hope you have your movie collection insured. Is it all DVD? Any online digital? No, it's Blu-ray and DVD. But insurance doesn't cover entertainment or media or whatever. So if I lose this all, I feel screwed. So I booked it. So I'm just gonna go back to screen sharing now. Oh goodness. Unlocked. Whew. All right, you guys ready for the live the editing? Yeah, you're right. Magic Kale Mermaid. It is a fortune. That's why I usually have everything secured nicely. So let's see. Oh, I got to edit that part out because there was a glitch in my Worm Week 3 intro where freaking there's an after part of the title I didn't need. So let's edit that backwards. There we go. Squirm. Oh yeah, two Squirm. It's a Squirm. The 1976 novelization by Richard Curtis. How courteous. I mentioned his name. It is based off the movie of the same name. Isn't that what a novelization is? It is based off the movie of the same name. Why, I had no idea. Movie of the same name. I thought they were calling it novelization like in Z Nation, but I didn't even watch this, so that was a terrible joke. After a freak lightning storm, a small community is still. Wait, what is this? You're probably the greatest horror. Have the greatest horror collection ever. I have a very big collection. I've seen people probably have more than me. I'm not sure. Maybe some filmmakers can send you some transcripts, etc. I actually have gotten free stuff, so that's awesome. Because I got in contact with people. After a freak lightning storm, a small community. There's a breath. So a small community. I have gotten free stuff from other people, like movies and science stuff. Is still not as much as I would have liked by now. After doing this for 5 years, but I still really appreciate everything they give to me. Town named Nick. I call them Nick. Mick. What's the difference? There is no difference. When out of towner named Mick. This is gonna be a long M, like short than that. Towner named Mick. There we go. Named Mick makes his. I just said it again, anyways. God damn it. Mick makes his way to visit his girlfriend Jerry, her sister Alfriend Jerry, her sister Alma, and their mother Alma. I love that name. It's so stupid. My sister Alma. My other sister. What's her name? In the movie? How did I forget Jerry? And I forgot to mention that in this book, there's a part where her name is Jerry in the book, and there's a part where they say Barry. Richard Curtis misspells and says Barry instead. I found that hilarious. It's like almost done with the book. Like Barry did this. Like, wait, what? Oh, he means Jerry. He did the last spelling errors near the end. Things are beginning to get shocking. Shocking, isn't it? Not only because of the bodies being found. Oh goodness, this is a fun book to read. Sea worms that have been disturbed, like the band, deep in the ground via via disturbed deep in the ground. Here's my first stutter of this review. Disturbed deep in the ground via electrical ground via electrical. That's way too loud. Electrical charge from a power. See, I did 3 times. Holy shit! Disturbed deep in the ground via electrical charge from a power line. James Monk's Trailers is here as well. I'm doing good. That way, you at least are be able to salvage your movies in case of tornado, fire, or flood. We don't get floods around here, but it's possible of fire. Tornado is really unlikely, even though we had a warning for a tornado recently. We've never had a tornado touch down anywhere near our house. Like, the next town over was the closest. Via electrical charge from a power line. We've never had a fire in this house either. We had the stove on fire, like, very mildly, and we were able to take care of that. That was years ago, though, like tens of years. Further investigation, it becomes apparent that. So I have faith in this house, even though it's like over 100 years old. I have a lot of faith. Outside help. Too bad they can't. I love that glitch. Too bad. Help. Too bad they can't reach anyone in Fly Creek. Oh yeah, I love this line. This is a line from the movie that I incorporated into my plot summary. Goes, all the phones are dead. Goes, all the phones are dead. Say it like you mean it, Brian. Let's just hear that a little bit louder, because I love that line delivery he did in the movie. Goes, all the phones are dead. I love it. That was like my favorite line in the movie. He was like, and don't bother calling for help. All the phones are dead. Because there's a storm. What video editor do I have? I have a video pad, which is it's pretty cool. Like, I don't get that many effects with it, but the editing is nice and smooth, and it's pretty quick when I do it. So I really enjoyed the movie. Like, see, I can zoom in to precise moments of when I'm saying something. Enjoyed the movie. And since this is a novelization, I will be comparing the two. I will be comparing the two. The book. Clarification is nice. Two. The book. Shut up. Every time I make a serious error and I correct myself, I always say, shut up. Like somebody's actually doing that to me. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Shut up. Both are nearly identical. Nearly identical, huh? Nearly identical. Are they twins? Phil's Creepy Videos is here. Hey, how's it going? Well, thank you, Magical I called you Magic Kale, like I magic in like the veggie kale mermaid. I'm sorry, a magical mermaid. Thank you for a compliment to me on my editing skills. Too bad, nearly identical. Each scene there's the like the veggie kale, which is actually not. You can make chips out of kale, and it's actually pretty good. The same besides the opening one. I don't know if that was your intention for the name, or if someone already took magical with the C. But that'd be funny. The opening takes place a good 20 years or so in the past. I had someone one time. They had made a channel, had it for years, and everyone thought they spelled their name wrong on purpose. I don't remember what the name of the channel was. This was like 5 years ago. And I said, dude, you know it's spelled with like a R or something. He's like, wait, what? Roger. Tormented by the sight of worms. I thought it was just so funny because he had gone for a few months, I think it was, with his channel, and he had no idea that he spelled his channel name wrong. I think he was like 15 or something, so it's not really understandable. But his widow finger. I don't remember what the name of the channel was, to be honest. I think Leo McKenna says, we welcome. Hashtag epic. Welcome. Oh, oh my God. How did I not even get that? I said we welcome. It's welcome. I should have. One bite is widow finger. I should have been more taught well in school. I don't know how to read. Which is contradicting to this review because it's a book review. Wait, what did I say? Throw in. I think I said throw in. Oh well. Magical Mermaid says my intention. It's my intention. Magic with a K. Yeah, I mean, oh, it's Magick. Ah, see, I have terrible vision because I used to have really long hair and it always got in my eyes, so it really fucked up my vision. And she says, or he or she says, what makes your channel is your personality and your passion for horror. Why, thank you. I try to be as passionate about what I love as much as possible. It's not always that easy when you have bad days. I can't hear what I just said. I think I corrected myself. Pop the freaking thing off because it begins to burrow in the sphincter. No. Burrow in the sphincter. I have to keep correcting myself and keep it in the video because I continue on a sentence that I already finished. Doesn't sound quite natural. My favorite horror would be Silent Hill, the movie or the game. I haven't played the game. I don't play video games, but I do enjoy the first movie. Second one, that's another aspect that is different between the two. You actually between the two. Believe it or not, this was really a lot harder without headphones being in my ears. I usually edit with headphones, and some people can edit with music, and I can't do that. Feel like squirming in your reading seat rather your reading seat. See, because I messed up with the rather, so I just stopped and I continued on. And I have to cut the other R out, or it sounds like I'm stuttering. In your reading seat rather than in the theater seat. Let's see if she replied. The movie I saw in theater, the sequel sucked to me, though. Yeah, I agree. I didn't see the movie in the theater. Back then, I wasn't watching horror movies in theaters because I wasn't allowed to, pretty much. The first horror movie I ever saw in the theater was 28 Weeks Later. I believe, trying to do math while editing, not a good combo. I think it was 13 or 14. I should have watched more horror when I was younger, and in the theater. I watched plenty of horror at home. Like, by that time, I'd seen all the Friday the 13th, because when I turned 13, I watched Friday the 13th. I was like, yes, I'm watching them all in a succession. And I did. I marathoned those motherfuckers. Where they look like they go to the movie where they look like they. Let's see. One of my favorite movie theater experiences for Silent Hill. I think my favorite movie theater experience. Oh, that's a tough one. It has to be Jurassic World because that's the first movie I saw in theaters where I was unknowingly impressed. Like, you could see my reaction and hear my voice. And everyone was cheering. It was the best. Like, I had never been so enthralled in a climax in a movie theater. And it was amazing. Where they look like they just glued them on people. Oh, this person. Squirm. I think I did it different. It was surreal. Like, it brought me back to like in the intro to my review. I think I recorded my reaction to Jurassic World. Where they look like they just. And it was like, Colin Trevorrow, you brought back my childhood. The movie where they look like they just. It was funny. Where they look like they just glued them on people. That's a problem I have is when I talk, I move my hand too quickly. I should have waited. It shows that I have no patience. This part was so dumb. This wasn't part of the script. I just added it on. Squirm. That's what they looked like in the movie. Because this is based off a movie. It's a novelization, and in the movie, they looked like they just taped worms to their face. Brilliant. Brilliant. I should do more of these. I get so happy when I do these because people are talking to me while I'm editing. It keeps me alert. Further reading, you get more of a sense that. Yeah, when I can't talk right, I deep my voice. more of a sense for Alma's friends, who I don't remember a lick of information about them. Uh-oh, he didn't remember how to lick. That's not what I said. I actually haven't seen A Quiet Place yet. Interestingly, funny enough, is that my friend who hates horror movies actually saw it and she loved it. Interestingly enough, Alma smokes joints. Which I haven't seen a movie in a theater in a couple months, probably. Last one I saw was Rampage. Interestingly enough, which was a lot of fun. And then I saw Death Wish before that. Alma smokes joints upon joints and upon joints and joints and upon. That year in 2007, when I saw 28 Weeks Later, joints in this book, I saw also Halloween the remake in theaters. She's 15. Right. And I'll tell you something, my theater usually never claps for a movie unless it's like really freaking good. And when Halloween was over, everyone went wild. So I'm wondering if this sequel to the original that's coming out will give us the same reaction. Because that movie wasn't that great. It was good, but it wasn't as good as the original. Look, she's 15, and therefore it explains her behavior. And nowhere near. And it got a huge reaction from people in my theater. Although back then, horror movies never made over $200 million until like The Conjuring came out. I remember her smoking, which was a major shift in the box office intake. And now that it has come out, let's see what. Yes, the original J Park may be my favorite theater experience next to Avatar. Dude, it's too awesome. It's not gory at all. Movie Pass is awesome. $10 to see. Oh, yeah, I wish that it looks like A Quiet Place is going to be rated R, which I'm kind of disappointed. I wish it was gorier than what people are saying. I remember her smoking in the movie this much. I saw Jurassic Park 3D, which was fucking, oh my god, it brought so many chills down my spine. The part that always got me when I was a kid was Lex and Tim in the car. And that just... And when I was a kid, even if I had seen the movie 1,000 times by that point, I'd always get glued to the screen wide-eyed and shaken whenever that part came up. I still do. Premarital sex. Drugs. I have to edit this part a certain way because this was kind of funny. Kids these days, joints. It's just a message about what kids are doing these days. Smoking joints, premarital sex, drugs, joints, premarital sex. Just like how it ends with drugs, which is the same thing basically what I started with. Sex, drugs. Just the way I started. Premarital sex, drugs. I think I laughed too in the review too. No, I don't. I have a pretty straight face when it comes to reviews, unless it's really funny and I start laughing. I haven't seen the movie in a while. Oh no, you have not seen movie in a while. But it is scary than most horror I've seen, different than any I've seen. Well, that's saying something. However, every time because if you really like horror movies and something different comes along that really floors you, wild. However, every time a scene I forgot about took place, then it's probably worth the price of admission times 3. I remember the most I've ever seen a movie in theaters was twice. I saw Godzilla twice, once with a friend and once with my mom. Then I saw it twice, once with my friend and once with the mom. With my mom. And be like, oh yeah, I remember that part. I saw Jurassic World twice. And for the upcoming The Meg, I want to see it more than twice. I've never seen a movie more than twice in theaters. I want to support the shit out of that movie. What's really surprising is how well the weird and insane parts of the book were portrayed in the movie. Because I've been waiting for that movie for over a decade. So that's not as long as I've waited for Jurassic World, but this is about a shark. So come on, you can't. The waves upon a wave. What was really surprising is how well the weird and insane parts of the book were portrayed in the movie. The scene upon the waves upon a showerhead, the waves upon a wave. So forms making way through shower heads, doors, ceilings. I couldn't have moved my hands any better. That was your shower head, a fucking fist? That is not a shower head. I thought I turned it like, that's going to be a shower head now. And a cream. See, it's what they're good. It's what cream. See, it's what it's yeah. Towards New Yorkers of the time. Yeah, and egg cream. They call something egg cream in this book. I was like, what? And she's like, a chocolate soda? I'm like, what's a fucking chocolate soda? And egg cream. Yeah, towards New Yorkers of the time called. I think I laugh at that. I was like, see, I laugh. I laugh. I have good time. Yeah, it's what the New Yorkers of the time called chocolate sodas. Wait, what's a chocolate soda? There it is. Yeah, I had no idea there was even such a thing as chocolate soda. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Avatar. I like the visuals, I'll give you that. Just a repeat of every other movie that's come out. Pocahontas and any overtaking movie. It's so. I don't want to bash. I don't want to bash the movie. It's not a bad movie, but like I like plenty of movies that rip off other movies. But if Avatar is so high on the status bar, it should have been something more original. Like if it's Sharknado, I understand. If it's The Asylum, I understand because they're a low budget company. But James Cameron, you can't do that. You can't. It's not right. I mean, I know everyone complains about that aspect, but it is a pretty important aspect. The story is. I think I should cut out that. I should cut out that other. No. I was going to keep it, but no. That sounds better. Pretty accurate. I remember when I was in high school and people who didn't like Avatar were like, yo, you see Avatar yet? Yeah. I was like, that's really original, you guys. It's kind of like you calling me Gato. See, it made $2.7 billion for a reason. But still, no, he doesn't come out the movie once a decade. Did you see the 80s? 90s? No? Okay. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just messing with you. But like it doesn't matter how much a movie makes. Like all this let me think. There's plenty of movies that don't make enough money and are amazing. Like Day of the Dead, Return of the Living Dead. They didn't make that much money, but they're amazing. Anyway, bulk of the book. And I like Twilight and the 50 Shades of Grey series. They make bank. They're shit. I'm sorry. Like I can respect the filmography. I mean, not filmography, the cinematography. So the bulk of the book was engaging. It took me a bit longer than I was engaging. It took me I don't agree that the money defines the movie. It took me a bit longer than expected. A bit longer than expected to read. I usually say that if it made $1 billion, it was half paid by people who didn't understand that the reason why it was a bad movie. Not saying that's you because I'm not pointing fingers at anyone, but there are some people who don't know what makes a good movie, hence the Twilight fans and the 50 Shades of Grey fans. Like, you can't say that all those people went to the movie and who everyone loved it, but they all had the right reason to love it. Because they had so much going on. It's best. And he has come out with movies more sparsely lately. Like in the 80s, he had Terminator, The Abyss, Aliens. Well, I think he did something else too. 90s, he had Terminator 2 and Titanic. Wait, did you say a couple movies or one movie? Oh yeah, it's a film. Star Wars can't be beat. I mean, currently the next one will be awesome. He's literally James Cameron didn't make Star Wars. Star Wars can't be. I mean, currently the next one will be awesome. He literally has a worldwide box office up for 20 years for the real though. He was Terminator 2 are special effect changing movies. Yes, I agree that The Abyss and Terminator 2 did change a lot of the way of special effects, but Jurassic Park was the one that solidified you could do anything with CGI. People thought, oh, you can make this guy go through stuff like with a computer. Or you can make this water move a certain way with the computer. That was liquids. When it came to real life stuff like animals, not stuff, like real life living things moving, and they look so real. That was the game changer. Like you can say that the water and liquids and stuff, it did help boost the inspiration for Steven Spielberg to use CGI, not only because it looked better than the stop animation they were going to use, but still, I'm trying to edit at the same time, so I try to stop talking when I'm editing. I'm not thinking of what I'm going to say. I'm just trying to make sure I can hear it. Titanic was the first one to make $1 billion. He popped the cherry, and no one can beat him. Yeah, it was, but that doesn't make it a like. I like Titanic more than Avatar. And I like Titanic a lot. I like his other films too. I don't know. I mean, he's not a bad director, but his ego is fucking huge. And only went a couple minutes over the. If you watch a film from a low budget director or a sci-fi channel producer or director, they know their limits, and therefore they don't have that massive an ego. Most of them, they do what they can to make a buck and have people entertained. But people don't seem to realize that the sci-fi channel is making a lot of money, because even though they're increasing their budgets and the technology, they think they're a bankrupt company. No, they're not bankrupt. They're stupid. I don't know how I got on this topic, but they are stupid. They dropped the Tremors TV series twice, back in 2003 and now, and with a new series coming out. The book does take a bit to get going. So, and they have a tendency to be really dumb, like canceling the Sharknado series. I can see it's kind of running out of steam. Much like it. But it's about 60 pages until it. I don't know. If James Cameron spent $1 billion on a movie, and he made back $1 billion, pages until it, or $2 billion, really delivers some squishy stuff. Like if he made a movie for $1 billion, and made back $2 billion, that's a profit. But with it's a big major profit, and he's gonna make bank back. But if you're a little company and you spend $500,000 on a movie and you make, let's say, $1 million, and you use that to your next film, unlike James Cameron, he usually uses his money to, commence submersible trips down to the Titanic or to the abyss of wherever he wants to dive to. He does spend his money on movies, but I think he spends more on his subs. And his expeditions. That's the word I was looking for. You wonder why he makes movies so sparsely. It's because he's doing all these expeditions. And like in South Park, where he's like, what was he saying? When he was singing that song? Before I mentioned that's the worms. I forgot what he was singing, because they sing so many songs. But they were making fun of James Cameron. It was funny because it's probably true. I'm thinking of the Imagination Land song. Welcome to the late shit. Show. I'll be there soon, Dino. Sorry. I'll be back. Into their victims, and that is enough. And that is a. That scared the crap out of me. I was like, "Who was that?" And that is a lot more graphic than. I'm not saying I hate James Cameron or his work. I know Cameron is a pioneer and an icon, but not all his films are amazing. They are amazing to look at. I'm not a huge fan of The Abyss. I don't hate the movie. I'd rather watch something else. Avatar, I've only watched it once or twice, and I just couldn't get into it. Titanic, Terminator 2, Terminator 1. I went out of order. Terminator 1, Aliens, Terminator 2, Titanic. However, the rest of the comparisons, I think those are his best works. Like he didn't need, especially the 80s. I like the 80s ones better because he didn't have all this extra money to work. And think about it. So this is kind of relating back to low budget. He was a low budget tech guy who made all these amazing sets for Roger Corman before he even became big. So without Roger Corman or his low budget movies, he would have never been even in the business. Probably he would have been like forgotten about. See, I feel the worms. Wait, hold on. I feel the worms are given. So you can't say he's the OG for everything. I feel the worms are given not more personality, more like dry. Like there are plenty of pioneers in filmmaking. Like let's take for example, The Wizard of Oz. Probably not the first movie, but one of the first movies to utilize color. That was huge. Or another movie, I don't know the name of it, but it was the first movie to use sound. That was legendary. You didn't have movies with sound done for like 30 years of filmmaking. And you have people who are using animatronics and gore and certain music and certain way to place the credits, like in Psycho, was all different. It was unnatural. I think the word that describes James Cameron is inspirational. He does do a lot that outdoes a lot of things that outdo a lot of directors. Here, they're moving in unison, pack of sorts. But he's not the OG guy to do all this stuff. I personally think Peter Jackson is a bit overrated, but Lord of the Rings may be the greatest series ever. I think the other way around. I think Peter Jackson's not. He is overrated, but Lord of the Rings is way more overrated. Also, going back to low budget, Peter Jackson was the schlockmeister of gore in the 90s. So he was never a major guy at first. He didn't like come onto the scene. Here's Lord of the Rings. No, he directed Brain Dead, Dead Alive. He did a lot of schlock before he did those great movies, those epic movies. And James Wan, I agree, he is not a pioneer. He's not original. He is a revivalist, or if that's even a word. He brings revival back to the series of the genre known as horror, because he has brought back techniques that are long forgotten about. I agree, his camera work is different than a lot of people who have directed movies, but delivering on jump scares and having a taut atmosphere. I mean, it's a taut suspense and a genuine atmosphere. Brought back a lot of things that horror was missing at that point. James Wan is a great director. I actually prefer him over James Cameron or Peter Jackson because I'm a horror movie guy. If Peter Jackson was still making horror movies, I'd probably like him more. I don't know. So the novelization is better than the movie because it's just the novelization is better than the movie in the sense that its title delivers what it promises you'll do. You just never know with directors how far their career is going to go until they change. The movie is better because you don't know what direction they're going to keep on going. Like, look at Alexander Aja. He directed so many great horror remakes and original ideas. And now he's making more. He's making that alligator movie, but lately he's been doing more psychological and shit, which is cool. I liked Piranha 3D. I like The Hills of Ice. I liked High Tension. Freaky stuff with worms, but I don't. The freaky stuff with. But I don't see Pioneer. He's a pioneer of James Cameron's a pioneer. They're impressed with what they were able to accomplish. They did some freaky stuff with worms, but let me just see here. With worms, okay. They did some freaky stuff with an element with worms, but or a type of special effect. He's not the pioneer of special effects. So it'll be a end all. Worms, but I don't think it had. I think eventually they would have. And also keep in mind that James Cameron didn't invent CGI. Industrial Light and Magic, I believe, are one of the first ones to do it. The companies that work on them are the ones to invent it, not James Cameron. The ones to use it in the movie is James Cameron. Worms that I don't think have been done. So pioneer is probably not the right word. That I don't think have been done before. If you're using it in the sense of him being the first guy to have CGI or do anything with CGI. With worms that I don't think have been done before. All right. With worms. But he did have them in his movies. He was the first one to do it. Although actually that's not true. There was other movies that had CGI even way before that, but it wasn't anywhere near that level. There was, I think, a movie from 1985 that has CGI, if I remember correctly. I did another mess up. But I don't. Like there's been CGI way before James Cameron, just never to that scale until James Cameron.
With worms that I don't think have been replicated beforehand or later down the line.
I think it was the last Starfighter or something that used CGI. Not sure. Yeah, I did like 13 Ghosts, the remake. I actually haven't seen the original. Was going to be George Lucas. Yeah, he's not a great director. He's a great storyteller.
They did some freaky stuff with worms that I don't think have been replicated beforehand or later down the line.
I mean, there's so many things that have happened in film history that people claim are the first to do it. You know, like
it's been a while.
Wait, hold on. Let me just say this.
It's been a while since I've seen the movie, so it's been a while.
Like Halloween, it's not the first slasher, but people praise it to be. If you want to really get into details about slashers, you can even look to Giallo. But Giallo is not technically a slasher; it's more of a crime movie. But there are crime movies that are also slashers. But in the sense, Giallo is not a slasher. And then you look to Grindhouse, and you're like, "Are these slashers?"
It's been a while.
And people are like, "No, they're Grindhouse." Like, okay, so you have a story about a whole bunch of people using weapons to kill people, or a certain person to kill people in really graphic ways, like Wizard of Gore.
As far as Richard.
But those movies, people don't consider them slashers, but I kind of do in some of them, not all of them.
As far as
like you watch Wizard of Gore and you're like, this guy's picking people off, and it's a crime, but he's also doing it in a way that's slasher-like.
As far as
or even a Bay of Blood. Or to go a little bit further, Black Christmas and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
So I'm not going to rate it as far as Richard Curtis does not line. It has been a while, so I'm not going to rate it as far as Richard Curtis and his novelization are concerned.
Like, that's just so many things that people claim to be first, and they're not. And it's all based on opinion, but there are some facts to what I have said so far. Oh, I don't want slashers and gore. I like all sorts of genres. I like creature features. I love creature features. I love paranormal. I love thrillers. I love a whole bunch. I don't want just slashers and gore. That would be too boring after a while. It's kind of like zombie movies. You get too many of them, you get bored of them after a while.
3 out of 5.
Like, I used to be so into zombie movies. Not only just make them really cheap, or they make them really good, and you can't really tell which one's going to deliver better.
Like
there's a movie called The Dead Next Door from the 80s.
I think I did.
That's like a great, really low budget movie.
It does have pacing issues.
Did I say pacing or painting?
It does have pacing issues.
Okay. Like, I don't want to go on not a tangent, a drawn out conversation about slashers and gore, because there's so much more. I don't need gore. Doesn't make the movie. Slasher, the genre doesn't make the movie. It's what's altogether the package of the movie. You look at the acting. You look at the characters, dialogue.
The characters could have had more development.
Music, effects, gore, plot, story, the same thing. But
could have used a bit more explained. Still, I enjoyed it.
And your overall thoughts on it. You can't just say, "Oh, it's gory, so it's good." I mean, if it all had was gore, which I've seen movies that only have gore and nothing else to them, it's like a 1 or 2 out of 5 for me.
And
but if a movie has gore, great acting, even if it doesn't have gore, I still I don't rate it on the gore factor if it doesn't have any gore. Like if it's Paranormal Activity and I ever reviewed those series, I would never even have a gore section. I'd be like the effects, because not the effects on gore, but the effects it has on the people, or what kind of atmosphere it has, what thrills it has, or anything like that. I wouldn't count the gore in the review because it's not gory. But if you're talking like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I probably wouldn't even give any points to the gore. There's not much in it. And the original, the very first one, there's not much gore at all. There's barely any. Actually, there actually is no gore in the original.
by Richard Curtis. It is based off the movie after a...
I cut out the plot again. I've been doing that. I don't know why.
Lightning storm, a small
community. Jesus. But there's so much that makes a movie what it is. So if you watch a movie and like Avatar and say, "Oh, it's great," it's like a 5 out of 5. You know, and someone asks you why, and you say it's obvious. The music and the effects. I'm like, okay, that's probably a 2.5 or 3. What else is good about it? The story. Wasn't it kind of derivative of other movies? And it's such a big production. You think after all the hype, they would have put a little bit more effort into the story. But the effects are amazing. And I'm not saying that's a negative. That's not a negative at all.
And the motivation for the worms could have used a bit more explaining.
All right, I gotta go
back. Overall, I give...
Yeah, like, see, Squirm here, I gave a 3 out of 5. And I told my reasons after. But it could have been a really good story, but the pacing issues and everything, and some character developments weren't really explored upon. What else? I'm trying to think of several dozen things at once here. But all in all, I do like film, even if it's not gory. I do like film, even if it's just an effects show, but I'm not going to give it a 3. I'm not going to give it a 5 out of 5 just based on one thing. It's basically what I'm trying to say. It has to be a certain elements that work. And that is all set and done. So, wait a minute. Am I missing anything? No. Okay, so yeah. Creepshow 2. I actually have seen most of Creepshow 2. I've seen the first one, and I've seen parts of the third one. Do not watch the third one. I'll talk for a little bit longer, but then I have to go, unfortunately, because I do have to watch a live stream that I promised a friend of mine that I watch her on her live stream. So I have to do that, but I'll talk for another 2 minutes. So anything else you want to say, Magical Mermaid? Also, I'm gonna see if I can find out what was the first movie to use CGI. Movie to use CGI. I guarantee you it wasn't The Abyss. Yep, see, 2D CGI was first used in the movies in 1973's Westworld. Though the first use of 3D imagery was in the sequel, Future World 1976, which featured a computer-generated hand and face created by the University of Utah graduate students. So yeah, 1973 was the first year for CGI. That's a lot longer ago than 1989, like in The Abyss. So I'm just saying, James Cameron, he is a great director. He has tons of merit to his name. He is not a pioneer. Like, he has made a lot of good choices in his career that's made it forward and for the better for the film. But yeah, it's there's a lot to film that is hidden. Like, I recently watched Dario Argento's The Bird with the Crystal Plumage, and it's not even the first film to be based on the book that it was based on, The Screaming Mimi, which was made into a film in the 50s. Like a life-size 3D printer, probably. I don't know what it looks like when they did it, but it's probably like that. Well, actually, I don't know, because they didn't have any printers like that in the 70s, I believe. They had, they did have printers, but nothing like a 3D printer we have now. Like, you can't take a film or an object to make it 3D in a computer like that in the 70s. I think it was done on scene, and maybe they added some effects to it with the camera and stuff. I'm not sure. I have to look into it. Like, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it was 1973, so they had a lot of options to do things, but they didn't have the technology necessary to do them. So yeah, I think that's going to do it for tonight. I mean the characters for Westworld. Oh no. So what it said was they had a computer generated hand and face, which means I think it was a digital enhancement. So it was CGI, but it wasn't like the CGI you're thinking of. Like it wasn't its own object. Let me just check this out. CGI. Oh, I think I know what it is. It was like a robot scene, I think. Or Gunslinger's Vision. This is hard to figure. I'll have to look more into it and let you know, but I gotta get going. But definitely really appreciate the talk we had, Magical Mermaid, because it's great to have a refresher for me and you to really dive into film, into the history of film, and the reasons why certain directors work the way they do and other ways they don't, and then that way of CGI and stuff. Shouldn't be able to write a book on the history of horror. I'm sure people have written everything I've just said, but in different books, so like several different books. But if I were able to write a book like that, that'd be incredible. I know a lot about horror and a lot of other things, but horror is my main thing. And now I'm sounding egotistical. I'm going to end it here so I can go watch my friend's live stream. But oh yeah, by the way, Zeno from the Late Late Horror Show is doing the live stream, so head on over there. I'll see you guys there. Lion Brian Gatto, host of Horror Show Entertainment. Make sure to like my Facebook page in the description below and leave comments and subscribe.